Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs. What probably comes to your mind when you hear these names is that they are all extremely horrific films. But did you know that they all actually have some truth to them? According to K.E. Sullivan's Ed Gein and the Figure of the Transgender Serial Killer, all of these movies were inspired by Ed Gein. Today I'm going to tell you more about who Ed Gein is. I will inform you of his childhood, how he got started in his life of disturbing crime, and if he was ever caught. Ed Gein was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin on August 27, 1906. His father, George, was abusive and an alcoholic and died early on of alcoholism. His mother, Augusta, taught Gein's brother, Henry, and him that all women, with the exception of her, were prostitutes and works of the devil. When Gein was young, his mother moved their whole family away to an isolated home in Plainview, Wisconsin, to keep them away from any evil influences. Gein was an average child that excelled in reading. He was a bit of a loner, and his classmates shunned him because he was shy. His mother did not allow him to make friends, and although this made him sad, he saw her as the epitome of goodness and followed whatever she said. One day, Gein and Henry were fighting a brush fire that was dangerously close to their home. Henry was found dead on the ground, but he did not die of smoke inhalation or burns. He died from a blow to the head. Although the evidence seemed suspicious, the police dismissed foul play and named Henry's cause of death as asphyxiation. Gein only had his mother left, and according to Radford University's Edward Theodore Gein, American Psycho, she died in 1945 from a stroke, despite Gein's attempts to raise her from the dead. When Gein's mother died, he shut off all the rooms in the house but the kitchen and the small room connected to it. According to ThinkQuest.org, it was here that he began to read death cult magazines and anatomy books of the experiments done by the Nazis. He became obsessed with the anatomy of the human body. Gein also met one friend around this time, a disabled farmer who began to help him rob graves. This is when Gein began to truly see what he was capable of. Gein never got to enjoy the company of the opposite sex when his mother was around. He would now go with his friend Gus to rob graves and take women's bodies home. He usually picked women that were closer of age to his mother, including his mother, because of his love-hate relationship with her. He began to dream of becoming a woman and would go to long lengths to make that happen. After a while, Gein wasn't satisfied with robbing graves anymore for women. He wanted a challenge, or fresher skin, as he said, and began to kill live women. Although he was only officially convicted of 2 murders, the number could be many times that, and they found bodies of 10 women around his farmhouse. On November 16, 1957, Gein shot and killed a woman named Bernice Warden in her hardware store with a .22 rifle. The deputy sheriff, Bernice's son Frank, went to the store late in the afternoon and saw blood on the floor. Frank remembered that Gein had been in the store a lot last week, and he told Frank he would be back for antifreeze. The police went to Gein's shed and found Bernice, who was strung up and gutted like a deer would be. The police also found other things, including, next slide, skulls turned into bowls, a human heart in a paper bag, a vest made out of women's breath, facial skin turned into masks, human skin used as upholstery on chairs, and the worst of all, the beginnings of a skin suit to turn Gein into a woman. After days of interrogation, Ed Gein admitted to the killing of Mary Hogan and Bernice Warden. He said that he was in a dazed state and could not remember exactly what happened. During Gein's hours of interrogation, he showed no remorse or emotion. He spoke matter-of-factly and even cheerfully at times. During Gein's trial, he pleaded not guilty due to insanity. Psychologists and psychiatrists that interviewed him determined that he was schizophrenic and a sexual psychopath. This is due to his unhealthy relationship with his mother and his upbringing. He was documented also as a necrophiliac, which is when you have sex with dead bodies, although he said he wouldn't have sex with them because they smell too bad. A transvestite, which is when you dress up and would like to be the opposite sex, and a fetishist. Gein was admitted to the Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane, and later moved to Mendota Health Institute, where he was a model patient. He died there on July 26, 1984, after a long battle with cancer. He was buried in Plainfield Cemetery next to his mother, not far from the graves he robbed earlier. Today I've told you about Ed Gein, who is, in my opinion, one of the worst killers of all time. I've told you about his strange childhood, his disturbing adulthood of robbing graves and murdering, and his arrest. Although Ed Gein is a terrible man, you need to take into account how many people like him there have been or are out there. According to the Radford University database, there have been 2,133 documented serial killers. The numbers grow every day, so don't let yourself unknowingly become one of their victims. Or better yet, don't be a serial killer. Any questions?
Kill them all.
Yeah.
Why did you pick this?
I picked it because I wanted to do something that was kind of creepier. And